How strong was Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks? We have the mighty fusion between Goten and Trunks, who separately don't pose much of a threat, but when fused, the ultimate being Gotenks is born, and they pack a hell of a punch. Now, it's nothing new to the fans that fusion amplifies the strength of two individuals dramatically, but in terms of the actual power level of Gotenks, debates always arise about whether or not he was stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku and if he was stronger than Super Buu. And I have to admit, it's a fair debate because, well, let's face it, the entire Buu saga is confusing in terms of power scaling. However, today, we're going to take a fresh look at specific dialogue from the manga and battles to determine where Gotenks in his Super Saiyan 3 form stacks up against these other characters during the Buu arc. It's going to be a long one, so bear with me, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Real quick, y'all, I just want to say how thankful I am for being over 1,000 subs. It truly is an amazing feeling, and I just want everyone to know that subs so far, that it is very much appreciated. And if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe as well, because I'm just getting started here. But okay, now let's get to the video. First and foremost, I know this video is about Gotenks, but we first need to look in depth at Goku and Super Buu, and that's actually going to help us get our answer about Gotenks. So we're going to start first by establishing that Goku, when he takes himself to a level even further beyond Super Saiyan 3, is stronger than the evil Fat Buu. We know this because, for one, we can see him having the advantage in their fight, both in the anime and in the manga, and number two, we see later on in manga chapter 315, Goku telling Vegeta, you know, I actually could have beaten the Fat Buu with Super Saiyan 3 when I met him. Now, obviously, this is Goku's opinion, but I'd say based on the fight itself between these two, Goku's opinion is correct. Thus, we'll say that Goku at Super Saiyan 3 level is stronger than the evil Fat Buu. Next, we need to establish that Super Buu is stronger than the evil Fat Buu. And yes, there are people that think this is not the case. So I'm going to present why that it's actually a fact. In manga chapter 291, the evil Fat Buu splits into both the Gray Buu and the good Fat Buu. It's obvious that the Gray Buu took most of the power in the split because, as most of us know, he ends up eating the good Fat Buu after beating him in combat and absorbs him, and thus Super Buu is born. Super Buu, as we can see, is on a whole other level compared to every Buu seen thus far. And this is proven by several statements within both the manga and the anime. Look here at manga chapter 292. Krillin asks Piccolo what's bothering him, and Piccolo replies with, "Haven't you noticed the change in Buu's ki?" He goes on to say, "Now his body is perfectly suited to battle, and his soul is pure rage." To add, after waking Trunks and Goten to go train in the Room of Spirit and Time, Goten says he did change, and Piccolo claims, "In every way he is more powerful still." Now, even in the anime, in episode 255 titled, "Which One Will Win? A Good and Evil Buu Buu Confrontation?" Goku and Gohan, who have already fought Buu, mind you, are in shock of the ki that Buu is exhibiting. You probably get the point. Super Buu is super strong, and yes, pun intended. And so now we have established that Super Buu is stronger than the fat evil Buu. Now the question becomes, how does Super Saiyan 3 Goku stack up against Super Buu? And no, I do not want this to get into a which form of Buu is the strongest debate. I have another video that I'm working on about that. But for now, let's just focus on the facts surrounding Super Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Let's start at episode 267 titled, "The Miracle Happens Once? Will the super combination with Gohan come about?" So, Goku gets his life back from the Elder Kai, and he returns to Earth to fuse with Gohan. As most of us know, this doesn't go according to plan, but there is something to mention here, and that's the fight between Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Gotenks. Now, if you don't know, this entire fight is filler. In the manga, Goku transforms, but looks very anxious and worried, but no fight occurs due to the fusion time of Gotenks inside Buu coming to an end. And even though this is a filler fight, just for the sake of argument, because I know people are going to bring it up, it is very important to note that Goku is not winning in the slightest. And we could even see that Buu, with Gotenks absorbed, is toying with him. He could have killed him instantly here. Again, I just wanted to bring up this filler fight because a lot of people say that Goku could go handle Super Buu or Super Buu with Gotenks absorbed, but that's simply not the case. Now let's bring our attention to when Goku and Vegeta are inside Super Buu after they have detached Gohan, Trunks, Goten, and Piccolo from Buu's body. Look here in manga chapter 312. Goku says, "Yeah, he's a lot weaker. See, his ki is smaller." Vegeta says, "Then let's blow ourselves out of here." Goku replies with, "Wait! He's still stronger than either of us. He'll kill us if we go out like this." He goes on to say to Vegeta, "You just had to break the Patara." Listen, two things to note here. Number one, and I bring this up because I've seen some fans say that Goku is saying that Super Buu will kill them while inside of him because of their small size. And with their small size, they're obviously weaker. However, as just shown and read verbatim, Goku clearly says if we go out, meaning outside. And outside, Goku and Vegeta would be at full size, both at full power, with Vegeta being able to tap into Super Saiyan 2 and Goku being able to use Super Saiyan 3. And with knowing this knowledge and sensing Super Buu's ki, Goku clearly doesn't think he is a match at all. And the second thing to point out here is that Goku brings up the fusion. It's quite obvious that he thinks that the only way for himself and Vegeta to beat Super Buu is through fusion. To add to this, let's look back at chapter 315 that we brought up earlier when Goku is telling Vegeta that he could beat the evil Fat Buu. Now mind you, after just making statements about being killed by Super Buu, Goku is telling Vegeta that he could have beaten the fat evil Buu. Not to mention, at this time during the fight with Kid Buu, both Goku and Vegeta think that Goku as a Super Saiyan 3 has enough power to beat Kid Buu. So you're telling me that with Super Buu, he doesn't even want to try to fight him, but with the fat evil Buu, he's confident that he could have beat him, and he thinks that he has a good chance of beating the Kid Buu? Come on. The point here is that Super Buu outranks Goku, and it's a fact. So now, and finally, it's time to dive into Gotenks. We see in manga chapter 286, after Gotenks makes his first debut, that he is clobbered by the fat evil Buu. In the manga, this happens off screen, but we do see it in the anime as filler. However, after Trunks and Goten train in the Room of Spirit and Time, Gotenks becomes super upgraded. Piccolo actually makes a statement when entering into the Room of Spirit and Time with Buu that confirms this. In manga chapter 295, after seeing Trunks and Goten fuse again, Piccolo states, "He does seem different. They've powered up hugely. This may succeed." What's important to note here is that even with the newly powered up Super Buu, Piccolo believes that Gotenks might actually have a shot to win. But okay, it's time to get to the nitty gritty. We need to focus on the fight between Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Super Buu. We're actually going to skip the whole fight inside the hyperbolic time chamber between these two. And this is because, for one, it's very apparent that Super Buu is undoubtedly stronger than Gotenks in his base and normal Super Saiyan form. And another reason is because this fight is just not to be taken seriously. And even Akira Toriyama states that himself. He was having fun with making this fight. There's proof of this in an interview regarding the Majin Buu arc, which is on the Kensenshu, and Akira Toriyama states, "It was fun drawing Gotenks and Majin Buu's fight. Frankly, I like these stupid silly battles a whole lot more than the serious ones. I guess I really am a gag manga artist first and foremost." So the point of showing you this is that it's a gag fight, and the only serious part of Buu's and Gotenks' battle, at least serious enough for us to dissect for this argument today, is when Gotenks powers up to Super Saiyan 3, and thus that's what we're going to break down today. Now, for the most part, the fight between Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Super Buu seems pretty even. However, as the fight is coming to its end, Gotenks seems to have the upper hand here. If you look here in manga chapter 301, we see Gotenks has Super Buu pretty bruised up, and he's about to unleash a devastating final blast. And according to Gotenks, this blast is supposed to kill Super Buu once and for all. Unfortunately though, the fusion time for Gotenks expires and the boys power down and defuse. Now within seconds, Super Buu pulls himself together almost as if he wasn't even hurt. So at this point, it's really hard to tell who is actually stronger out of Gotenks or Super Buu. It seems like Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks edges out Super Buu, but honestly it can go either way. Now, before we conclude this video, I do want to present a piece of dialogue between Ultimate Gohan and Butenks that got me thinking, and after I'll elaborate on it. So bring your attention to manga chapter 305, where Super Buu, with Gotenks and Piccolo absorbed, goes on to explain his evil plan to Gohan. Buu states, "I began to form this plan when I first sensed your presence far from Earth and realized that you might prove stronger than I. So I thought, if I should absorb Super Gotenks, I should surely be able to retain my title regardless of who should appear. Fortunately, the The brat mentioned that he had a limited time. Not wanting him to shift back the moment I absorbed him, I had to wait for the next window of opportunity. Now, my thought here, and this is just my opinion to get everybody thinking, is that what if Super Buu was letting Gotenks think that he had the upper hand on him? Hear me out. Buu knew that he would have to trick them into doing the fusion technique again to fulfill his plan. So maybe he figured that if Trunks and Goten felt that they had the upper hand during their fight, that they would be more likely to do the fusion again. But at the same time, if Super Buu was stronger, couldn't he still beat Gotenks to a pulp for those last 5 minutes and just not kill him? Because I think in that scenario, Trunks and Goten still would have wanted to do the fusion again later on to get revenge and to prove themselves. Obviously, I'm creating a little bit of headcanon, but you get the idea. It's up for interpretation whether or not Gotenks or Super Buu was stronger, but in my opinion, you could go either way. You could say that they're on the same level, but if I have to give a clear-cut answer, I'd say that Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is stronger than both Super Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I mean, using the facts of the fights and the dialogue that we covered today, I just have to give the W to Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks in terms of raw power. And listen, you have to remember that Gotenks is a fusion, which is a multiplication of both Trunks and Goten's power, which also gets extremely magnified through the fusion. Then, go ahead and stack the power increase of Super Saiyan level 3. It just makes too much sense that Gotenks is above both Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Buu in the pecking order. As for how much, I have to say a decent amount more than Goku and only a little bit more power than Super Buu. So yes, it would go Gotenks at the top, then Super Buu, then Goku. And I know he didn't beat Super Buu, but you have to remember that Gotenks was a kid and he didn't take the fight seriously. Otherwise, I do think that he had enough power to where he would have beaten Super Buu with that final blast. Again, not by much, but I do think he could have gotten the W. Thus, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is superior. Everyone, if you've made it this far, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. It really does mean a lot. If you enjoy Dragon Ball content, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all future projects. And if you did enjoy this video, hit that like button as it does help the video spread out to other fans. Lastly, let me know down in the comments your opinion on this topic. I'm interested to see what everyone's thoughts are on the power of Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Maybe there's something I forgot, and maybe you'll remind me. But anyways, as always, y'all have a good week, and never forget, just like Gotenks, break your limits and never give up. Peace!